Whoa. What's up, Internet? This is JD coming at you with, this is a Deadliest Warrior review recap. I basically just watched Deadliest Warrior. I've watched it for a while, and I've always had an issue with it, so now I'm basically watching it to review what I think they did wrong. I've always thought this for a long time. So I'm reviewing what I believe they did wrong. That's basically it. This one is about the Roman Centurion versus the Rajput warrior. Okay? The Roman Centurion versus Rajput warrior. This one they really got wrong. They got this one so wrong, it is death-defying to me. There are soldiers in history that defined history. There's a reason for that. Okay? Roman Centurions are one of them. Okay? Now, they're not my favorite. I prefer the Spartan over the Roman Centurion, but it irks me. It really does. The Roman Centurion, they really undersold a lot of things the Roman Centurion did. And they also overdid a lot of the things about the Rajput warrior could do. Okay? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. The Roman Centurion comes into battle with, first off, he's wearing Lorcula Hamata, which is actually their armor. Again, this is something else they did in the show. The Centurion, it depends on when you're looking at them in history. If you're looking at them in history, it irks me. They had plated armor near the end, near midway through their actual, their peak. Okay, their peak. They had plated steel armor. Okay, I have pictures of it. I can prove they had plated steel armor. Okay, and Centurions were one of the main ones to wear this. Okay, it's plated steel armor. It cannot be penetrated by a hand. It's hard. Arrows can penetrate it, but it's hard to do that. You can't get a sword through it, stuff like that. So you're really narrowing your enemy. But they take chainmail. Okay, probably because chainmail would make it seem like it's a fair battle, but it's not. Okay, so chainmail. The Galea, which is I believe that's the name of their helmet. And then their Shukram, the Scutum, which is their shield. The shield is one of the most effective shields ever made in history, and they never tested this shield appropriately. But yeah, the Gala was a iron or a metal steel helmet. Covers everything but the ears. Okay, covers the side of their face, over the back of their neck. So you're really limited on how much you can do against this soldier. Okay, you can't slash the soldier, and you can't hit anything around the neck because it's covered unless you hit it right here. Okay. And again, they took him at the worst, the beginning of the Empire. Whenever the Empire started, they had a form of chainmail. That's basically the best way to put it. They had a form of chainmail. The Rajput warrior comes in with a thing called Coat of 1,000 Arms, which is, it's a lesser version of chainmail with cloth in the front, leather in the back. Okay. A steel helmet, which I think is irrelevant, and then a steel shield. Shield was effective, but they didn't really test that either. So, let's just go over a couple things. The first test they did was the Qatar, which is... A Qatar is a stabbing weapon. One is 3 spikes and one is 1 large spike. It's a punching weapon. It's a puncher, okay? Can't slash with it, only a puncher. So they test Roman armor versus that. Now they tested Roman chainmail armor versus that. Of course it's going to be effective. Okay, it's chainmail. You're going to be able to stab right through it, okay? But, okay, yes, you can stab through that armor, and all of the Roman weapons can get through your armor, okay? The Roman gladius can get through your armor. The Roman pilum, which is a throwing like javelin, can get through your armor. And the delabra can get through your armor. Now here's something that they tested because they want to test it on the show. This is where the show irritates me. They want to test an item on the show just to have it on there because, like, oh, we got the Scorpion on the show. That's cool, right? They want to test an item that they haven't seen before. So rather than using the Roman bow and arrow, or even the onager, they decided to test the Scorpion. Which Scorpion was nice, I guess, but it doesn't shoot. And they only tested with 1 bolt. I've seen Scorpions in tons of shows, and in a couple shows, especially Spartacus, where it shoots multiple arrows. You can shoot more than 1 arrow at a time. It has enough power to do that. Okay, so they don't test this properly. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the Qatar. Yes, Qatar is effective, but Roman Centurion can carry, and this is one of the things I said about there's some warriors that can carry every weapon in the battle. The Roman Centurion can carry all of his weapons in the battle. Delabra, he can carry that. He can put his gladius on in his on his belt, and he can carry a shield, and he can also the pilum is actually made to be carried inside the shield. Two of them, you carry two at a time. All Centurions had two, and then the Scorpion would could just be there, and you could use it once to try to be effective. Shoot him, and then you go into a fighting style. Go into fightings. So nothing really long range in this weapon. Everything's up close and personal, which I think benefits the Roman Centurion. The Ara, which is a whip sword, which is a pointless weapon. It got 0 kills in the sim because it's never going to get any kills. It's not going to get any kills. The other handful of weapons are way overblown. Any weapon the Roman Centurion has is paired with the scutum, which is their shield. If you come into battle with a guitar and you're looking at a gladiator who has the shield and either his axe or his gladius, you're dead. You're not getting to him. You're not going to be able to punch through that shield. What he's going to do is as soon as you punch once, he's going to hit you with his shield and he's going to stick his sword in your gut. Okay? Or he can keep you at bay with that axe because the axe has more range. Or he's going to throw a pilum right in your chest because you can't have these two things and be carrying your shield at the same time. You can't. You can't have, it's not possible. So that weapon, the guitar, is completely rendered useless because you're not going to get through the shield, okay? Even if you get through the shield, there's still armor where you have to punch him, and you have to make sure the guy's like this is to punch him. And you're talking about a gladiator who was the most effective shield and sword combo probably ever, okay? They built an empire on the pilum, sword, and shield combo, okay? The pilum they'd throw, it would kill people, it would break up lines, and it would either it would go through a shield and completely disable that shield because you're not going to fight with a shield and the pilum in the shield, okay? And then you got the Scorpion. The Scorpion's irrelevant to me. You can use just those two items, the pilum and the gladius and the scutum, and you can win this battle hands down. It's not even close, okay? And then long range weapon, the chakram. It's a completely pointless weapon. I'm sorry. It's not that it's pointless. It's that it's pointless against the gladiator. And here's why it's pointless against the gladiator. The chakram is it's like a frisbee, but it's all metal, and you can throw it, okay? And it cut through a piece of meat, cut it right in half, which is fine. Congratulations, you cut a piece of meat in half. But you're looking at a Centurion who has armor from here to his crotch, okay? You're looking at a Centurion who has a shield, who he's going to hunker behind, and his eyes are going to come up right above it, and then you have his helmet right above that. And that's how they walk up. Okay? He's going to shield himself. He's not going to just let you throw it at him, like, throw it at me. Okay? He's going to have a shield every single time. Okay? So that weapon is pointless. That weapon is completely pointless because you have a margin of error this big, and unless you catch the Centurion without his chakram or without his scutum, it's pointless. He will fire the Scorpion when you're at 50 yards away. You cannot throw a chakram 50 yards. It probably has a 10 to 15 foot range. Okay, and it's going to bounce off his shield. It's not going to do anything. It's pointless. That's what they don't understand in warfare. A weapon is only as viable as the opportunity it has to kill. Okay? For example, if you can have all the bow and arrows you want, but if I can hunker down behind a shield and walk up to you and kill you, I'm going to eventually get you because you can't penetrate my shield. You can't penetrate his armor. And the last weapon which pissed me off the most is a weapon called the Kunda, which is a 3-foot long blade. Okay? Now here's something that they don't understand about warfare. If you have a sword and a shield, you can be on the defensive and the offensive at the same time. If you have a sword that is two-handed, you have to defend and go on offense all at once. And this is the weapon you got to load up. Okay, you have to load up and haul off and get somebody. There's no way that weapon is going to be effective because the Centurion's going to put up a shield and stick a sword in your gut. Okay, and this is another example of them testing the armor early and not using that test and testing the armor throughout. Here's why. Because the Roman armor, which is ringmail. Yes, the guitar can cut through it. Okay, again, the guitar's not going to be that close because the Centurion has a sacrum, which is the shield. Okay, a scutum. I'm sorry, a scutum. It's just a shield. You're not going to get that close. You can't punch through the shield, and A guitar has no tip on it. It is basically a two-sided blade, no tip, no stabbing capability. How the hell is that weapon anywhere near effective against a Centurion? When a Centurion has a helmet you can't penetrate, first off, it also has a armor you can't penetrate because you can't slash through it, and it is strictly a slashing sword. It is strictly a slashing sword. Okay? So you have to load up, and I'm going to give you credit. It does have blunt force trauma. I will give you the credit of blunt force trauma. It is a heavy sword. It will load up, but I don't think you're going to get that close and hit him. It's too wet. It's two-handed. So let's say you're going up against a gladiator who has the gladius, the scutum. Let's just say I'm going to say shield for now on. The gladius, the shield, and the pilum. Well, before you ever get close enough, he's going to throw the two pilums at you. So there's two chances you're going to be dead. Okay. And then when you get close, you have to get through the shield, and you have to get through the dang gladius. And then you have to get through the armor. Which, if the guy doesn't have a shield, you got an advantage there, I'll give you that. But again, you can't cut through the armor. It's ring mail, for God's sakes. Okay? They raved that this warrior, Rajput warrior, basically is known to be a one-on-one warrior. Good for him. This stuff is pointless. It's not. I'm not saying it's completely pointless. Okay, obviously they can kill, or else they wouldn't have these weapons. They wouldn't have been somewhat effective. Okay, but the point of these weapons is they can't get through the armor. Guitar can stab through. However, you can't stab through a shield. They have no answer for a shield. There's no answer on any of these weapons to take care of that shield. Meanwhile, the Roman Centurions can throw a pilum at a shield. They can use the axe and pull the shield out of the way. There's too many options for the Centurion. And they narrowed war down to very simplistics. The simplistics of warfare. And the Rajput warrior, I don't see how they win. The number should be flipped. The pilum should have gotten at least another 200 kills. Maybe 150. So 190 some kills from the pilum. The gladius is going to get a lot of kills. I mean, you can technically kill with a scutum. I'm not even going to factor that in. Scorpion, I don't really care if the Scorpion gets kills. The Delabra Axe, don't really care about that. The fact that they have the Gladius and the Pilum and the shield alone renders them automatically full advantage. And the Kunda would not have gotten 328 freaking kills. I'll give you 100 kills. I'll give you 100 kills out of that Kunda. And the Shukram maybe would have got 10. Your margin of kill rate is this. And you gotta factor in you gotta be that accurate to kill it from a distance every time. You're throwing away your weapon. Okay? The guitar got 234 kills. You're not going to get that close. You're not going to get that close. I'm sorry. It's nothing against the Rajput warrior. And again, it's another Eastern philosophy warrior that I got to say is not good enough to win this battle against a Western philosophy warrior. But it's true. A Shukram is not going to penetrate. Your margin of kill is here. Where the chainmail ends and where the neck is. If you aim for the face, you might hit the face, but there's metal right here. So you may damage the face, you might cause enough trauma to actually cave his face in. But your margin of error, which is the benefit of doubt, is right here. The helmet comes down right here. Okay? The Kunda, you have to cut the guy's head off, or you have to do enough damage where you can't lift either arms, and then you can kill him. Guitar, you have to get through his shield. Okay? I'd say this numbers are flipped. It's like 650 to 350. It's something like that. Has to be. There's no freaking way. It's not possible. It's not possible. Other than that, that's pretty much where I'm going to break this down. I'm not going to give any numbers this time. But that's pretty much it for this episode. These episodes are getting quicker because I found easier ways to go over this. I found easier ways to get to the point. A lot of these things I've actually talked about. So if you've actually seen this series, a lot of things I've actually talked about before, especially when it comes to ring mail, how they improperly test armor. They don't properly test armor. They don't test all of the gladiators' weapons against the Rajput warrior and vice versa. And I believe that is an inconclusive test. Because just because one weapon can get through armor doesn't mean that weapon can also get through a scutum shield. It doesn't mean that weapon can get close enough, considering you have a gladiator or a Roman Centurion who has a gladius. It's a 2-foot-long blade, one of the most effective blades ever made, and a Delabra axe that you're never going to get close enough to do, and a pilum. So if you have the guitars on and you're running at someone trying to attack them, you got to worry about the pilum too, which is a throwing spear. You're not going to be able to dodge it. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. The next episode, I'll pick my winner of who I think would win in a fight for season 2. I'm going to pick their winners and then my winners and kind of talk about how I think the battle would go down. Okay? That's it. See you.